Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days, where we give you a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. And look, we have special guest co-host Martha Madison. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Well, good afternoon, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Well, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days, where we dish all of our favorite moments of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by a full house of people, and we'll go around table and find out just who these people are. Starting to my far left, in a new seat today, we have...
the gorgeous Matthew Evan Paine.
I love that you pay yourself compliments.
Well, if no one else is going to, the gorgeous Matthew Evan Paine. Glad to be here, guys. I'm glad you're here, Martha.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
You're
happy
welcome.
to be here.
And of course, in our studio, we have another friend of mine, super fan of Days of Our Lives. We have
Dave Carey.
Hi, Dave.
Dave,
Hello.
welcome.
Excited to be here.
Good.
First time.
Yeah.
excited to
Now
be
listen, don't get nervous. We've had other co-hosts that have come here and have not said a word, so
okay.
you got to speak up.
I gotta speak
You got to
up.
say
Okay.
some things.
All right.
Yeah. And of course, we have my very dear friend. We have known each other for quite some time.
Far too long.
Far too long. We have the very beautiful and gorgeous.
She's beautiful and gorgeous.
Well, you know, Martha and I just realized today, we have known each other for quite some time.
For 11 years,
Yeah.
to be exact.
Yeah. And it started at a fan event in South Carolina in Greenville. And actually, I have a photo from when we first met. And here's the photo. Look how cute and young
I was
looking
so
we still
skinny
look.
back then.
Me too.
Aw, before I was old, Mom.
Oh, stop it. I feel like you still haven't changed. The only thing that's changed is like your length and hair.
I was trying to do that, like, you're the one that I want. You're that kind of
very
hair, you know? that
very
stuff.
Olivia Newton-John.
hair back then.
Now, this is where we started and we met.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at that same event, this is how we ended up. We were cutting a rug on the dance
so
floor.
Funny.
Oh my God. You know what is so funny? I remember that shirt being so annoying. It kept falling off. And I'm like, you know, grinding on Tony and my shirt's falling off. And I'm thinking, I'm probably going to get fired after this. But we danced so much that night. I
We
was
did.
such a sweaty mess. It
Me,
was so fun.
you, and me both. And we both looked at each other like, oh my God, thank God there was you, because if not, I would have danced by myself.
I had such a good time. And it
was
was,
so fun.
we bonded. Yeah,
We
we bonded
did.
over I don't know, Eminem or...
Yeah, it was like all these songs kept coming on, and like we would be like, yeah, and we were just like around each other, so it was great.
Baby got back.
Yeah. And then it's because of you I started doing background work on Days.
Is that right?
Yeah, when I first moved here.
Which I remember.
Yeah.
I remember driving you around a little bit.
You did.
I was like a chauffeur. For
So
the
yeah,
first few
so
months.
my first visit, I told her I was here, and I thought like, well, I mean, she's busy, she's not gonna like come and like hang out with me. And then next thing you know, it's like, I'm here, and I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
And we like hung out. We went to Luna Park when you had
Yeah.
Luna Park, and we like talked about the industry and
Yeah.
all that stuff. She showed me around, and it was great. It's been like a wonderful friendship. You were my first interview on Lounging with Tony.
I was at poor defunct Henry's Hat.
I know. Henry's Hat, her previous restaurant was like my go-to place. It was in Studio City. Whenever I needed a premiere or needed to shoot, I was like, Martha. She's like, yeah, come on. So it was great. I am very thankful for your friendship, and I'm thankful that you're here today.
Aw, thank you. Well, the feeling's mutual. Hey, what's up, baby?
And of course, Dave. Hi, Dave. How are you?
Hello. Good morning.
Thank you for being here too. Dave has watched Dishin Days a few times, and whenever we get around each other, we start talking about Days, and I'm like, you should come do the show one day, and here you are.
At our RuPaul parties.
Yes. We had these RuPaul Drag Race gatherings with other friends of ours,
Yeah.
and we will watch it weekly. And it was fun, and now we have nothing to watch until All Stars comes on.
Aw.
Although we did have movie night, which was good.
Well, that's not
Which
true.
was
You
fun.
have Days of Our Lives to watch.
That's true. That's
Hey.
true. Yeah, that and to watch and talk about.
Yep. Every time we see each other, we catch up, or he knows I'm usually a little farther ahead than he is. So
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what happens.
I usually binge watch.
Is this
over
a
the
really nice
weekends.
way of saying you're a slacker?
He's just busy. He's
Matthew,
busy.
you're great today too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you so much to you guys who are watching live. Don't forget you can like us, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Dishin Days, or on Twitter at _Dishin Days. Apparently the at is implied when you come to Twitter. Oh, and make sure you go to iTunes and give us 5 stars and comments. Mark watches for all of your comments on there, so make sure you say all the great and wonderful things that you like about our show.
For a chance to be fan of the week.
That too, because our fan of the week usually comes from iTunes.
Yes.
So that's good too.
I have to say, Days of Our Lives this week was excellent.
Yes, it was a lot better than last week. Last week we had...
Oh, stop.
There was a lot of Sean and Belle this week, so maybe
was.
that was the thing that picked us up.
Yeah.
I mean,
be.
it could be. It was a better week this week, because last week we even had a fan call in and said, I fell asleep like 3 times during the week. And I was like, oh. I fell asleep once, but I think that's because I ate during an episode and I was like full, and then I was watching it, and you know, you get the itis and...
But don't you think a lot of, I mean, I don't know. I watched Days since I was a little kid, and I always watched it right before I went to bed. So I
did you?
feel like it was kind of commonplace.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like, it was your bedtime story. It was my bedtime story. So I don't see a problem with that.
There's some weeks where I'm like, I don't know if I can watch it like before bed, because then I may fall asleep and wake up and go, oh my God, I need to watch another episode to find out what happens.
Yeah, and?
3 o'clock in the morning, like a fiend, like, I gotta know what happens to Hope and Aiden.
You know how they have like they cover a certain storyline 4 out of the 5 days a week, and you never know which day they're not going to cover it. So
Yeah.
you start watching the next episode in hopes, and it's not there.
You could tell in the
Yeah.
first like 7 minutes.
Right.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
They're
It's
not
like,
on today.
I'm not gonna do
You
it.
have to wait.
Well, speaking of this week, let's go ahead and dive right into it. It's now time to start
Dishin Days.
And Martha, will you do the honor of flipping our lovely hourglass?
Don't break it.
I almost broke it last week.
And we set it and forget it. Yeah. All right. So the first storyline that we are going to cover is, I mean, the one that we should obviously cover first. Sean, Belle, and Philip. Can I just say, and I think I told you this too, ever since you came back on the show, I have thoroughly enjoyed how you played Belle.
Aw.
And just how she's like progressed into this strong, independent woman who knows what she wants at the moment.
At the moment.
At the moment.
That's a
And
very good way to put
Yeah.
it.
And she's just like, and I love the scenes with you and Philip, or John Paul, and how you were just like, listen, this is what I want.
Yeah.
When I call, that's what I need. When I don't, we're good. And
Yeah.
I was just like, go Belle!
But you know what? I think that's a really accurate portrayal of
Yeah.
someone who's just gotten out of a, bad relationship.
Yeah.
And doesn't want any more drama, just wants to have fun, just wants to feel good and feel happy, then you're gonna like flock to those things. Are they always healthy? No, but it's you want that drastic change.
Yeah.
And I thought they did that really well. And I think women in general, all people, but specifically women in general, are very dynamic. They and things can change like that on a dime just because that's how they're feeling in the moment, and that's just kind of how we're wired, or me anyway.
Yeah.
So I totally connected with the material. I liked the fact that she was more dynamic this time around.
Well, speaking of changes, this week we saw a change in your relationship with Sean.
Yeah.
And there was a drunken night.
Never had one of
Belle
those.
enjoys a cocktail, doesn't she?
She does.
This time around, yeah. Who doesn't?
She's a wild girl.
Listen, that's
Getting
part.
drunk once in a while doesn't make you a wild girl. It just
No.
makes you drunk, like, which is why it's fun.
And she has her own bar to go do it in. She's like, give me
Which
another.
again, I can relate to, sadly.
I think Belle's best decision drunk was hooking back up with Sean. I really enjoyed that, and
Sure.
I enjoyed the aftermath
expressing
between the two of
yourself.
them.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was, I have to tell you, I got that script, and we hadn't been on in a couple of weeks. Like, I remember a couple of weeks going by and not getting any scripts, and being like, this is like the first script I got in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it. I'm like feverishly reading through it, and then I'm like reading. Oh wow, this is a whole page. Turn. Oh, second page. Oh, it was 5-page monologue, and I was like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I can do this. So it was really fun, and do it drunk. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know. So it was a fun
And you
challenge.
did it well. It was
Yeah.
great.
Very well.
It was a fun challenge. It's always fun to get stuff like that.
I feel like it's fun to play drunk.
It's scary to play drunk because you're not totally aware of yourself when you're drunk, and you're not totally connecting with other people when you're
Yeah.
drunk, and you have to get that across,
Yeah.
which is hard to do. I mean, acting is about connecting with the people you're in scenes with, and you're not supposed to do that, I
Yeah.
guess, when you're drunk. I don't know.
Well,
it was
you,
fun.
You definitely connected to Sean this week. There's a
yeah.
whole lot of connections.
Lots of connections.
And you could see that the love is still there between the two of
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
which is fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I like that Claire approves of it.
Of course.
I thought
Just
it was
a
a
little
little weird when she's like, "Did you spend the night?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Wait a
Did you
minute.
sleep with Dad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
But it was interesting that she was able to pick up on all that. Like,
Yeah, well, she's also an adult on the show.
Yes.
She's not 15 anymore. She's 18
Because
now.
true.
what did Belle do? She grabbed Sean's arm or something when she was talking to him, and she picked up the
Yes.
subtlety.
She picked up the subtlety and then noticed that he was wearing the same shirt as the day before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, is
Yeah.
not totally weird for
It was
a
a
dude.
navy
I mean,
blue
how
button-down, like-
guys wear the same shirt all the time.
Not I.
Oh, please.
No. No. I have to spread my stuff out. Besides, I have enough fashions to spread out.
Oh my
Shirts
gosh.
and stuff
Well, my
are
husband has
months.
like 18 blue button-down shirts,
Right.
so it's like
You never know
wouldn't know.
which blue button-down shirt he has on.
right.
A little interesting that Claire was the one to call that out, though.
Well, she knows her parents.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know. And
then-
I think it was only a matter of time. As
Well, it
she
was
said,
very
it's always
obvious.
Sean and
Yeah.
Belle. I mean, you are Sean and Belle. And
Yeah. it's
What
true.
do you think of Belle and Philip?
I think it's fun, and I think it brings out a different side of her, which I think is really true to form for women. I mean, you have stable guy who loves you, is going to be a good provider, who's, satisfies all of these needs in your life, and then you have fun and dangerous and risky, and it's like, angel devil. I think that's a lot of people experience that. I don't think they act on it as much as Belle does.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
that's a soap opera. So.
Yeah.
Only in Salem.
Yeah, I think it's fun, and I think wise words from a former EP that I worked for. He said, once you have a happy couple on a show, you're done. So you want the conflict in order to stay employed. So
Yeah.
I think that's true.
I mean, I will say, I kind of feel bad for Philip this week.
Why?
Because as he's like, I think there's a part of him that he's obviously upset that you are kind of moving on with Sean, but I feel like he deeply does care and love you.
Without doubt. I mean, I think the whole thing is he is in love with Belle, but he's lost her before in the
Yeah.
exact same way, and
Yeah.
so he doesn't want to risk doing that again because it hurt too much.
Yeah.
So he's literally saying, just do it now, because at least that way I can be in control of it, you
Yeah.
know? So, it's sad, but he's the one who did it. You know,
Yeah.
he's the one who said, go. She's like, okay.
I feel like they had Philip being a little creepy this week.
Oh yeah,
standing in the
like
corner.
Yes.
like in the back,
Peering in between the two of you.
and pretending like he was taking a
Well,
phone call,
yeah.
but like
And
he was
also,
just
we're
watching.
like the only people in the, like, I'm not going to notice that Philip's like 10
Standing
feet from
right
me.
there.
But, I mean, again, that's just, those are the tools with which we work
Yeah.
on a soap opera. Sets are small and you have to make your point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of funny.
Is something like that in the script where Philip walks by, or do they direct him to stand there?
No, that was in the script.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be seeing that it's happening.
Yeah.
Because I think it sort of catapults him into his next thing.
And what was his next thing? Who was the girl he was talking to?
Oh, Philip has just been introduced to all kinds of girls this week. There's like the bartender at the edge, and
Yep.
he was just like, "Oh, you're cute too," or like the woman who's gonna come in and do the marketing for his record label, and he's like, "You'll do too." So I feel like now they're just like introducing women.
Well, I think it's like a vehicle to show that it's even the most beautiful, sophisticated, intelligent woman is not what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That what he wants
Is not Belle.
Right.
It's not Belle.
Well, because Belle's not sophisticated. Let's talk about it. No, because Belle's a mess. So.
Dave, what do you think about all this?
I like it. I mean, I loved seeing, Belle and Sean kind of reconnect, and, it was very, very real and very cute, the chemistry you guys had
Yeah.
together, and I'm not a big Philip fan, so.
No?
No.
Like ever, or just with the new?
I don't like the new dynamic of it.
Got it.
but,
Okay.
I think Sean's
Who
better
was
for
your
you.
favorite Philip?
God, there was how many? Three?
There was
Three.
Jay Kenneth, I think, was
Jay
mine.
Kenneth,
Jay.
I liked
Kyle
him.
Brandt.
He was
Kyle
fun.
Brandt,
I like him
and,
too.
and now John.
Okay.
I think I feel like everyone's
That's
favorite
right.
was Jay Kenneth Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like John Paul.
Oh wait, and I forgot
just
Jason.
don't like Philip.
You don't like Philip.
Yeah.
What don't you like about Philip?
I think that he is such a wannabe. Like, I think he wants to be powerful and he wants to be this daredevil, and I think that he's a little bit of a wimp. And if he just came out, I don't know if you ever watched All My Children. I think he's like a weak imitation of J.R. Chandler, Jacob Young's character,
Jacob, yeah,
who was so strong, and he was like a little brat with a silver spoon.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the character.
But I think that he falls short of like being the malicious
Right.
business tycoon.
Right.
I just want him to be that.
Right. Well, I think that's more about the writing.
Okay.
I mean, I think that
Yeah.
you know, we've all been kind of written as sort of getting our footing, and I
Yep.
don't, maybe that just hasn't played yet for him.
Once he gets his footing, it's going to be fun. But he keeps
Yeah.
getting checked by like Victor and Deimos and put in his place.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like they haven't really given him the motivation to sort of tackle all
Right.
of that and take power of the Kyriakis. Like,
Where Deimos is taking complete control over Victor, would have been
Right.
fun to have seen Philip take complete control over him.
I
But look
totally
at-
agree with that.
Look at the men that we're talking about, Victor and Deimos. Those two are like, and Deimos is just pure evil to me. Like,
He's a bad guy.
He's so good.
yeah, he's Vincent. He's really good. But and then you look at Philip, and you're like an evil guy with a heart, though. Like, I think he can be bad.
Yeah, he's
but
being tripped up by his emotions.
Yeah.
You know, people of that caliber of power or whatever, you know, Victor and Deimos, they lack in the emotional sphere. And, you
Yeah.
know, Philip is still very much guided by his feelings.
Yeah.
So they'd have to kind of wipe that out for him to become that powerhouse, I think.
Yeah.
But Deimos can play the piano really well. They
And you know
introduced
what?
it this week.
And he does.
So
he
well.
does. There was
Does he
a
really?
piano on set at that time, and like we would come in from breaks or come into drive off, and he'd just be playing beautifully. He's so
Vincent?
talented. I have such a crush. Oh my gosh, yeah.
And he's a gentleman. I always say that about Vincent. He's so polite.
Absolutely, totally, 100%.
Well, we want to know from you guys how you feel about Sean Bell and Philip. So give us a call here and let us know. 424-253-0749. Again, that's 424-253-0749. And head over to our Twitter and answer the poll question of which Philip did you enjoy most? Was it Jason Cook, John Paul, Kyle Brandt, or
Jason Cook didn't play Philip.
Oh, wait.
That's okay.
No, not Philip.
I got
Wait,
you
Sean
back.
D. Thank you.
It's all
Thank
good.
you. I was like Jason Cook. That sounds wrong. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, those three: John Paul, Kyle Brandt, or
Jay.
John, or yeah.
You
Yeah.
know who.
Thank you. Yeah, those people.
The three Phillips.
Listen, I'm allowed to have a mistake every now and then.
It happens so infrequently. My mind's blown.
Listen, it does. It does. But you know, whatever. It does happen. But yeah, head over, call in, and it looks like we have some callers now. We'll take you guys. Hello, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Tony. It's Cheryl from South Carolina.
Hey,
Hi,
Cheryl. How
Cheryl.
are you?
Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Martha.
Hi, how are you?
Pretty good.
Good. So
I had a question about Phillips.
Okay.
Which Philip has been, I don't want to say the easiest and the hardest. What I mean is, which one have you, like, jived with the best, and which one has been, like, the cut-up that you just couldn't get anything done with? Three Phillips.
I think the answer to
Three
both
Phillips that you've played with.
the answer to both of your questions is John Paul, for sure. He's so weird and hilarious, and he was just like my BFF at work, and just such a cut up and so just strange and just keeps you on the edge of your seat. And I loved working with him because he would always do it like he'd always throw you a curveball. Like, you don't know what he's gonna do. You can rehearse all day long with him, and then you get to set and he'll do something totally different, which is fun because we only get to do it 1 or 2 times. So it made it more interesting for me. But that being said, I've loved all of them for different reasons and enjoyed working with all 3 of them. I'm lucky I got to work with all 3 of them.
Yeah.
my favorite was J. Kenneth Johnson, but John Paul is really growing on me.
Yeah, you know, he's in person an acquired taste, as I would say, because he's not your regular average like Joe. You know, he's a kooky, eccentric guy, and it takes a while to kind of like get his rhythm, but once you do, it's just he's so great. Yeah.
Well, the only exposure that I ever had to John Paul was from Dirty Soap.
Oh.
Because I didn't watch any of the other soaps that he was on.
You know what?
I loved him on Dirty Soap.
That wasn't an accurate portrayal. No.
But I loved him. I loved him on Dirty Soap, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought he was great.
You get his kookiness, right? Like he was always wearing pajama pants and stuff. Like that's totally something he would do. But no, I mean he's so much funnier than that. Like he's just so funny. He's really smart.
Yeah,
his hair was really short then, too, right?
Yeah.
The very last thing that I wanted to say, so someone else can call, is I love it when I can see Marlena and Belle and Claire in the same room.
Yeah.
But you guys have hardly ever acknowledged the relationship between the girls. You know, when they're talking to Claire, we the audience is like, why is nobody saying your aunt Sierra, or why do you never call Grandma Hope?
Well,
you know, you always talk about her friends.
I mean, in your regular family, do you do that a lot? I mean,
I do call every one of my aunts my aunt.
You
I've
do?
never referred to them as my friends.
It's a Southern thing.
I guess it's just a thing. I don't know. I mean,
thing.
I don't. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I have
call
people
my
who aren't my
aunt
aunts that I ended up calling aunt just because they've been around for so long.
Yeah, like I have my best friends that love my daughter. Like they're Aunt Barbie and Uncle Michael. You know, like they're
right.
But we're not actually related. And I'm Aunt Martha to everybody just because it's hilarious to say Aunt Martha.
It was just so funny to see Hope like say to Claire, "I'm going to tell your parents," you know, because it was like she should have been, "I'm your grandmother," and I'm not even letting you walk out the door and get my son over here.
She won't do it.
She's not going to do that. But yeah, I get your point. I don't know. I mean, again, it's just a writing choice, I guess.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Cheryl, as always, for calling in.
Yay, thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. We love Cheryl. Cheryl is always has been a huge supporter of Dishin Days, and she's usually always the first person to call.
Awesome.
Let's take this other caller here. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Jacob from Texas.
Hello,
Hey, Jacob.
Jacob
Hi,
from
Jacob
Texas.
from Texas. I'm from Texas.
How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Good. How are you?
And what?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say I really liked Belle and Sean together. I liked seeing you on screen this week because, you know, they haven't been giving you enough to do on screen. But what would you be doing if you weren't in like acting per se? I know you do the restaurant thing, but what else would you be doing if you weren't in acting?
I mean, I've done it. I've done everything. I'm getting ready to open another restaurant here in Los Angeles in July. So that's really what I would be doing. It's the only other career I've ever had that I've sort of excelled at. So, you know, it's the only thing I would feel like great at. I'd love to be able to produce television, but again, that's a job you start young, and to kind of feel like I missed my boat.
It's not a young thing. Not a young thing.
Well,
at all.
kind of. I mean, really successful producers often start off as like a PA or something when you're 22 because you're like working 25 hours a day.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to do. But to get to that level where you're my age and like an executive or something. So I don't know. Who knows?
It gets kind of crazy because I have a degree in broadcasting electronic media, so I'm trying to do the same thing, so it's kind of crazy. So I know how it goes. I had one more quick question. Is there going to be another season of Winter Boy? Because I really love that show.
Oh, thank you.
You did a great job.
Thank you. That was so fun to make that show. I don't know yet. I think we've been discussing it. Right now, Michael and Barbie Caruso, who produced Winterthorn, have also just finished producing Ladies of the Lake, which is based on Ken Corday's novel. And so we're finishing all of that, and after that's finished, I think we'll have a better idea of whether we're going to do Winter Thorn again. But thank you for watching it and supporting it. It means a lot.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Keep up the good work, and you guys are doing a good job. I'm enjoying the show this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. Well, bye. And speaking of Winter Thorn, I remember when I first saw the advertisement for that, I texted you and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so, I love it when people take risks, you know? I mean, it's still sort of in the soap opera family because it's about this like dysfunctional family, but I love that it was so outside of the box and this character that was really out there for me to play, and it introduced me to Michael and Barbie, who are literally like family to me now. So it was a great experience. Yeah.
Well, speaking of other families, let's jump on ahead to Finn, Kayla, Patch, and Joey and Jade. Interesting little situation that little Joey and Jade are in. First off, when they first got to the compound, and I think I've said this before, I thought it was some sort of weird like sex house. Just by like the vibe.
It does kind of look like a little.
Doesn't it? Like it looks a little like dirty.
Like a porny cult.
Yeah. And it's when they got there, there was a part of me that was like, keep going. Like, keep going. If you have not reached LA yet, keep going. Keep going. But it's been very interesting, and we see that. I feel like with this, we're starting to see really who Jade is, just as a person and as a character.
She's a manipulator.
She's
big time.
She's a bad girl.
She is a manipulator, just like the person who is joining us in the studio right now.
Mr.
Hello, Mark
Manipulator.
Hello.
Well, look who has arrived today. We definitely have. I think this is the most
we've ever had. Yeah.
Today.
So-
I thought that on the way over. I was like, oh, we're gonna have a house.
Yeah, it's a house.
I was gonna
full.
grab. There's a guy out there eating on the sidewalk. I
You
was
just gonna
bring
grab him in too? Yeah.
Come on in, girl.
Well,
That was me.
I knew you looked familiar.
well, we're so glad that you were able to
Yeah, I was
join
sitting
us
at my
today.
desk going, there's nothing to do. And my boss came in and I was like, I'm just going to leave a little early if that's okay. She's like, yeah.
And now
So
you
here
are.
I am.
Well, and
But I don't have any notes.
Nice surprise.
that's fine.
So I'm just going to have to wing it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you watched it. And not Pizza
Days
Roll
of Our
the whole
Lives?
week.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Especially this week, because there's a part that everyone is dying for you to talk about.
Oh, I know.
And it has nothing to do with...
The birthday boy.
By the way, the chat room is blowing up. Hi, Mark. So happy you're here.
They're all drunk. That's okay.
I took your seat, Mark.
Sunday
No,
fun
you're
day.
fine.
If you want to sit here, I can go.
No. Heavens no.
You're like, I'm done.
I'll just be real quiet in the corner.
Yeah, right.
And I will,
You know what? I'm so glad that even Martha was like, yeah, right. Like, that's going to
No.
happen.
There's
Mark
nothing
quiet.
quiet about this essence over here.
Nothing.
nothing but shy and innocent.
Oh, please.
Uh-huh.
It's
So,
Lies and deceit.
Hi, Alexis.
so obviously they now have a warrant for their arrest because they didn't make it to the court.
Which sucks for them because everyone else got
Everyone else got off.
I know.
Yeah. Well, thanks to Belle.
I know.
I know. I mean, just trust in Belle.
She'll get you
I
out
have
of
been saying it for 13 years. But, hello?
Is this thing on?
Right.
I know.
And now we see another couple that they're trying to and another triangle that they're trying to put together between Finn, Kayla, and Patch.
Right.
And I'm sure we've all kind of talked about it on how we feel about it, but now that we have just a full house of people, I want to find out from everyone else, how are we feeling about...
I mean, I've already vocalized mine. So
About Finn.
Skip me, Matthew.
About how we feel about the
Finn
triangle?
and Kayla.
I hate it. I hate it. I don't like Finn.
Why?
Because he's trying so hard.
You think so?
He's hungry, as Tony would say. I feel like he...
The character or the actor? Okay.
No, not the actor. I like him, but I just feel like he's trying to be so relevant.
Yeah.
And he's not, and like trying to put Patch in his place. Don't put Patch in his place. You don't know
Nobody
Patch like
puts
that.
Patch in a corner.
Don't mess with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Dave?
Well, he's very good looking, so that's what he's got going for him.
I mean,
But-
That's all that matters.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I like Sean.
So do I.
One of my types.
But do you think Finn and Kayla will work, or Finn and Patch will work? I mean, Finn and Patch are. I mean,
Finn and Patch would be very
Now, that
interesting.
would be-
A whole other
Yeah.
storyline.
Yeah.
That's a
That
very
would
different
be-
storyline.
Gays of our lives.
it would bring the gay back to
That brings the gay
Definitely.
back.
Storyline.
I'm
all for that.
Obviously, you guys see what I'm voting for. Finn and Patch.
But did you say
Hashtag.
before that you liked it or didn't like Finn and Kayla? Or you never really... Typical Tony.
I think Tony
He
minds it
didn't
the
give
least.
a definitive answer.
Wait, because it's not about me right now. Dave, finish.
I'd rather see, of course, Patch and
Yeah.
Kayla get back together, but I don't
But
know.
you hate it?
I don't hate it, but it's, it's something new, I guess. I don't know whether they're going to go with it or how far, because, sometimes they'll start and then it just kind of...
I want them to call him Patch.
Call who Patch?
Steven. They call him Steve. Call him Patch.
That's true.
My husband doesn't really watch the show like ever.
Yeah.
But when he does, every time Steve is on, he'll be like, Patches. No, it's one patch.
Just one.
Patches.
Not Patches, but just one. Martha, what about you? Who do you...
Again, I kind of like revert back to what I said earlier. Like you have to have conflict in a couple in order for there to be story for the couple. So I'm happy that they're doing that because Steve and Kayla are so necessary to the fabric of the show.
Yes.
That being said, I don't think the coupling is working. It's not working for me, and I think mainly just because there's so much history with this couple.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a brand new guy that we haven't really connected to yet
Yeah.
to really put him in there. So I feel like that it would work better if it was somebody else on the canvas that we already knew and and got to know.
Exactly
You know what I
right. That's how I feel about Lonnie trying to get with Sean.
Right.
The new girl is
Yeah.
trying to come between the history.
Oh,
Yeah, and
of
I
Belle and
think
Sean.
that those things don't work. Like the audience has to connect to every character before they can experience that same conflict with you.
Right.
And I think that that's just a matter of like introducing a character and getting to know the character in other ways before you start mingling them into relationships.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago, Belle and Sean were at Brady Pub, and Lonnie came in and kind of
Right.
interrupted their conversation.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if she put her arm around
She did.
Sean, and you looked at her like, bitch, you don't even know who you're messing with.
No, it's just like, it's like not even on the same spectrum
Right.
of what
Yeah.
we're talking about right now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it didn't, and I think we all played it that way. It didn't really register for any of us
Right.
at that to that degree that I think was the intent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Finn was trying to tell Kayla, he said, I won't allow you to fly. And she was like, you won't allow me to.
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
But these
The
are
doctor
why,
that's taking care of her?
But he actually said, I'm not telling you as a doctor, I'm telling you as your friend.
Oh,
Right.
well, that
so-
too.
But I think the triangles that have really been compelling, like Mimi, Belle, and Sean,
Yeah.
and even Chloe and who was she? Philip
Philip
and
and
Belle,
Philip
yeah.
coming
and
in.
like. Sammy and EJ, or Sammy
and all of Salem.
Rafe and Ari Zucker's
Lucas,
character, Nicole or whatever.
Nicole.
Yeah.
These are fun and compelling because we love and know all these people, and you pick the one you're rooting for, but you
Yeah.
kind of still root for the other one.
Yeah.
That's what you need in a triangle, I think.
And speaking, I'm glad you brought up Lonnie because that was one of the things we forgot to mention during your storyline was the fact that Sean had to kind of be the bearer of bad news to Lonnie and say, listen, Belle and I are going to give this a try again. And I mean, that was another one that just wasn't working for me. Like I felt like she was a little too forceful.
Yeah, it was a little Fatal Attraction.
Yeah,
right?
a little
Totally.
bit. Yeah.
Which
They made
that
that kiss.
could have been a great story.
I mean, it could have been great, but
You know?
Mm.
We don't know a lot about her, so that could have really
Except
been.
she's
Yeah.
tearing Sean's clothes off. And I mean,
and
it's
faking
weird when.
stakeouts and stuff.
Same as Fatal Attraction. I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of the
Blame
same
her?
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
I mean-
gorgeous.
But how many times does Sean have to say no before Lonnie gets the hint?
But wouldn't it have been fun if she didn't get the hint?
Right.
Like that
But-
would have been
but-
a whole
yeah,
driving
but
story
take it
right
there.
there.
Take
you know?
it there.
Maybe it will.
Yeah.
Well,
There was one other
No.
thing.
We're gone.
There's one other thing I wanted to ask you about your storyline. I know that we moved on, but I have to know the relationship between Belle and Claire. She is so fresh Claire is so fresh to Belle. I actually thought, I think it was an episode last week, they had a confrontation and Belle said, "Who do you think you're talking to like that?" And I thought, I was waiting for it to become a cat fight, like a mother-daughter, like a slap. But it never got there. I know it's the writing, but why hasn't there been a point where Belle said, "You can't talk to me like that"?
She did. She almost hit her. There was an episode
Yeah.
about a month ago where she backed her hand up and she stopped herself because Belle is. And I'm so glad she didn't do it because that is not Belle.
Right.
Yeah.
Belle would not hit her child. She loves her child. She's going through her own stuff right now.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You can say
I
it.
forget where I am.
That's okay.
And I don't think that it would be a proper character for her to take that out on her daughter.
No.
And so I think that's pretty true to character. But you know, I feel like Olivia Keegan, who plays Claire, is so great.
Yes.
And she nails that teenager.
The angst.
I wanna
Yeah.
like. She's not wrong. She's Belle's like inner demon conscience, like telling her all these things she already knows that she's trying to deal with. You know, and it's she's very, very good and. Certainly, if she were my daughter, I would have smacked her.
Smack the hell out of her.
She deserves a smack. Claire
There have
deserves
been
a smack.
times, yeah. I mean, there are times that.
And
you
I do have to
deserve
say, she does look like if you and Brandon had a kid.
I feel like she looks
would look
like if Kirsten and I had a kid.
Yeah.
She looks so much like Kirsten
Yeah.
Storms, I
Yeah.
think, except she's she's tall. And Kirsten's a little petite thing. But I think their facial features, it's kind of creepy.
I think we
That's
did.
what
We
they
talked
look
about
like.
that once too.
Yeah.
I feel like we talked about.
We
that.
did.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Well, back to answer your question, Mark.
Please.
As to my answer as to
Are you
whether
going to
I
make a
like.
definitive one, or are you going to be very presidential?
No. You know, listen. I'm still a
I'm
fan.
in the mood for this.
I'm still a fan.
Okay.
Open
arms. I know. Cut the BS. Get to
So,
it.
I do not like Finn and Kayla.
So I'm the
because
only one?
Because I feel like it's a little forced. I feel like what they're trying to do is they're trying to kind of say, Kayla, you still got it, but we're gonna just kind of add this twist, just so.
Okay,
it just
so
adds
then let me
something
pose
else.
this question to all of you.
But wait, I'm not
haters.
done yet.
Go ahead.
No, I was done.
So
you
who
hear
would you see?
Dave-
Who
Dave
you,
went-
if it wasn't Finn, who would it be?
It would be Patch.
No, not Patch.
Oh,
if it was
like
a
a good
non-Patch
third
person-
for the triangle?
Yeah.
No, there's no one else in Salem right now that could go in with them.
It's
because
most realistic that it be somebody that works
That's
with her
not
in the
true.
hospital.
I mean,
No.
I think maybe a triangle between Hope and Rafe and
thought you were
Kayla.
Oh.
He could play it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just thinking of people that you are.
Oh my
in the
God.
same
There's
range.
Aiden.
Okay, well, see, this is what I would have liked to, because you know we're
Sure,
writers
Aiden.
here.
Aiden would
All
be
four of them,
great.
yeah.
Oh yeah, because everyone's dying to be with Aiden right now. Okay, so this is what I would have done with the character of Finn, because we like to play writers on the show. I would have put Finn with Nicole.
Well, they were
I
starting
feel like they tried to.
Yeah.
do that.
Danny was still alive.
But I definitely would have went that route, because when they introduced Finn, they tried to mirror him as Daniel.
Yep.
And so then when Daniel died,
Finn could have been a great shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, and a great sort of replacement, because we all kind of do this too. You know, when you in real life, when you date someone and you break up with them, you kind of find someone else that kind of looks and acts similar, and then you're with them. I totally did a meme about it. You should look for it.
Okay.
But yeah, but it would have made more sense. And then this whole thing with Deimos and her playing Helena and all that kind of stuff wouldn't seem so hokey to us. Because, I mean, honestly, when Deimos pulled out the picture and it looked exactly like Nicole with the black wig, we were like,
It wasn't really her.
that's what you're gonna give us? So I would have liked to have seen it gone that way. I'm open, but I'm not open to
Didn't they allude at one point to Finn being like a sex addict or
Yes,
something?
I do
Okay.
believe
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
they,
yes.
and then they
Which
just kind of
is-
dropped that.
yes.
Right?
Which is funny
Yeah.
because he had the conversation about being a sex addict with Lonnie, who is
Right,
the ultimate
who's
sex
now
addict
the-
on the
No,
show.
that would have
Now,
been.
that would have been- That would have been
some-
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could just have every 5 minutes a cut to them having sex.
Yeah.
Wow.
Back from commercial
Boom.
break.
Back to
Cue
commercial.
sex.
No dialogue, just them having sex in a different place.
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
out.
In Salem.
Now that would
Or
have been
you know that Kate likes the younger men.
Mm-hmm.
She had
I love
pair
her.
Finn with
I know.
Kate.
I
it could
don't
be
know.
her
I don't.
boyfriend.
It
great,
doesn't
isn't
bother
she?
me. I don't. Remember, you guys didn't like
Lucas and Adrian.
Still don't. I was on that
still
train.
don't. I
from the
hated them.
beginning.
you know, and I love them
yeah, I forgot
both
about that.
personally and professionally. I don't like that pairing either. It
Yeah.
doesn't work for me.
Yeah, no, they're
I didn't
no.
mind that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you, Martha.
It's just my opinion.
Dave,
Yes.
Lucas and Adrian, yay or nay?
No, I think it's weird.
Both.
Yeah.
No.
I don't care. I like being the rebel.
I'd have more sexual chemistry with Adrian. There was zero, none.
Now you're
negative.
pushing it.
Well,
I like when Kate's with the younger
Stop
guys.
it.
'Cause
Yeah.
she, you know,
Well, she's so sexy.
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
so
she is.
sexy.
She just like
Yeah.
oozes sexy.
She does. Like she just walks in and
They
you're
should
like,
give her a girlfriend. That
See,
would be
she-
hot.
See, that's what I thought when you
There you
said Kayla. You said Kayla, Rafe, and Hope. I thought you meant Kayla.
No.
they're
And I was like, well,
Not-
okay,
not like
lesbian.
what?
It's not like they're gonna make a
No,
lady.
but they don't have to make her a lesbian.
And I would be procreating,
Shave her
so
head.
it don't matter.
They don't have to make her a lesbian to. She could have a tryst.
Yeah.
you
But
know,
I
women.
Bi-curious.
I think
Do that
I think
more
Kate could
often.
pull that off.
I think so too.
She
Me
could
too.
because
Yeah.
she's
Like
so
that.
Yeah.
like just.
Yeah,
She's
and
so
Billy,
sexy.
and
Yeah.
Billy.
Yeah.
you're only saying Billy for own personal reasons.
Well, I mean, you know, we gotta
Which
have
one, though?
goals.
So this is where, if they ever did chat in that way, all of a sudden Lorraine Love would show up in Salem.
I'm gonna be like calling
my
Days of Our
gosh.
Lives every day. Can I please come in? Can I please audition, please?
So
Back to storyline.
back to Finn and Kayla and Patch and Jade and Joey. So Patch has found the compound with help from John, and he goes to the compound. And speaking
Bumps
of
into Jade's crazy aunt.
well, speaking of someone that kind of oozes this kind of sexuality, I was like,
Yeah.
Patch kind of turned it on a little bit and was just like, so.
I know. I thought
How
something
about
was
you?
gonna
Playing her
happen.
game to get his
I
information.
get it, but I will say there was a moment where even I was like,
maybe that could work.
I was like,
I didn't mind
her
it.
and,
I was kind of
her
like,
and the aunt.
You know, she's a very.
I like her.
She's
Yeah.
a very free spirit. So is he.
So is he.
He was like, "Do I smell fresh kombucha?"
I know.
She was like, "Good nose" or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I liked it.
But I
That's
liked
when it
when
all
she was
started.
like, "Follow me to the kitchen."
Yeah.
Like I ain't falling for this.
No,
little
yeah.
puppy.
He was
Yeah.
like, "Damn it,"
Yeah.
and followed her.
Yeah.
But he's she's very intrigued by him because you saw it like throughout the conversation that she just progressively was just kind of like, oh.
And then, meanwhile, Joey and the other boy, what's his name?
Dirk.
Oh God.
He's
I don't know
so
why I
creepy.
remember that.
He is
Like
the
he's like
creepiest.
watching them make out on the couch. I was like, really? They did
and
that?
the branding.
Oh, the
Yeah.
branding was
So
gross.
disappointed Joey got branded. I thought that.
I was too.
Joey, he did?
Yeah.
I thought
He
just
did.
she did.
They only
she
showed
showed
her,
his, but
and
then
then they
they-
came back from break, and he had one too,
one
and she
too.
was like, "Aren't they so cool?" And he was like,
Oh.
"We've got to get out of here." And then the fist fight ensued.
Yeah.
Well, because Derek was like, whatever, his D was over there like standing there in the corner with a guitar trying to serenade who?
Guitar?
The Rocks? What was that? He's like, I'm just going to be over here just ding, 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 ding.
I didn't think I was gonna be here, so I was
like-
Playing the guitar.
half paying attention.
Huh?
I didn't think I was gonna be here, so I was kind of half paying
Half-
attention. I was waiting for a quote of the week, and I knew he wasn't gonna give it to me. So
My
It could have been the song
that's
that he
true.
was,
Linda
he was
got it last
lightly-
week.
See?
Linda.
There you go.
The extra.
my screen froze. Everybody on this right here.
Why does it every time it freezes? Somebody tweets out a picture of their frozen screen. It's always me
Can you
making a
get
ridiculous
that?
face.
You should probably screen cap that.
I did.
Good. Good.
Done.
It's done.
Good.
Not
I'll
doing
be
this show
posting that
anymore.
on Twitter
Why
later
did I
this
come in?
afternoon.
Because
at
you love us.
Matthew E. Paine.
All right,
Send
so
it to the birthday boy.
oh boy. Okay, so that's it with that storyline, and we're going to keep it moving right along to Rafe, Hope, and Aiden. So
Right, okay.
yeah, so
Focus.
I have to like get the
Yeah.
faces in my
yeah,
head.
so I don't know.
I'm right there with you.
I don't know where to start with this storyline because I feel like I will say this. I felt bad for Aiden again this week.
Yeah.
And this is why.
Go ahead.
It's because I feel like he's been gone for so long and he's not fully aware of the impact that fake Aiden had on Hope
Everyone.
and the family and everyone.
Right.
So he's walking in like thinking like, hey, I'm back. I'm still in love with you. Let's pick up where we left off.
It
and
wasn't
everyone's
me. I
like,
didn't
yeah.
do it.
And everyone's like, get the hell out of my city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I kind of feel bad because he's just kind of trying to piece. It's almost like losing your memory and trying to like figure out, well, why does everyone hate me?
Yeah.
But
So I
he's
feel bad for
lying
him.
supposedly when
He
Andre
is.
called him from prison.
He is,
Yeah.
and Andre's trying to like manipulate him to being like, and I feel like it is going to bite him in the ass soon when the whole lie that he told Hope about when the actual switch happened, and Andre is going to use that to kind of say, listen, you need to get me out unless I'm telling Hope.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I'm still.
I like this one. I like this triangle for exactly the same reasons we were talking about earlier. I'm like invested in all three characters. They're all really great actors, and so I think they pull off some really interesting material.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Cosgrove is just wickedly talented and such a cool guy. So happy they brought him back. So I love that they're doing this. I think it's great.
I think their storyline is much stronger now that Aiden's back. The triangle I like now. I hated it. I hated it before.
Yeah, like you kind of had to miss him for a minute.
Yeah.
You knew he was a bad guy, and now we have a reason to think maybe he's not so bad,
Yeah.
and so you can kind of root for him.
But you kind of know he's still a little bit of a sneak.
Yeah, there's still something.
But I mean, but sometimes the bad guy is hot. I mean, I don't know.
Of course.
I get that all the time. I totally relate.
Like, I feel you.
But we also are starting to see Hope. She's not really outwardly saying it, but she's questioning like her feelings for Rafe and Aiden. Like
But she loved them. She's loved them both.
Both, yeah. And
Aiden longer.
Yes, of course. Well, God, you know what got her
But
was
you
that
know-
slow dance and that eyebrow at the
But
fundraiser.
their relationships still didn't have a ton of like lead time, you know, like the whole partnership between Hope and Rafe has been going on for a long time. So you see the friendship build for a long time. So you're a little more invested in that, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes that can make it stronger too when you start friendship.
The chat is blowing up. Everyone's saying hate it, still hate it.
Rafe and Hope?
Yeah, Aiden and Hope.
Yeah.
Aiden and Hope? No, they're not. They're talking about Rafe and Hope.
I swear.
People don't like Rafe and Hope.
No.
Really?
I do.
I like Rafe and Hope better than Aiden and Hope. I don't like.
I never
Well, I think they have really
You don't
good
like
chemistry.
Aiden? You're Hayden?
No, I just
Aiden.
never was into. I mean, I liked the suspense of the storyline, but I just wasn't rooting for him. Like, yeah, they'll get married and live happily ever after. So, but that's Days of Our Lives. That doesn't happen. So.
Right. Well, and with Aiden, we're also seeing him kind of having to be a father figure to Chase, which Friday with with Chase being stabbed, I was like, what else can this poor boy go through?
I don't think poor boy at all.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him.
He
in
raped
the least.
Sierra.
I see.
I think that's what they're trying to go for.
Yeah.
Suckers like you.
Yeah.
But I have to be a sucker.
And we're not falling for
It's
it.
we can't let him off the hook that easily.
I'm not saying let him off the hook for what he did. However, he is a very troubled boy, and I'm not excusing what he did. By
Most
any
rapists
means.
are troubled.
But he was manipulated by Andre to do it.
Well, the burgers in the park did it.
He wasn't. How was he manipulated by Andre to rape Sierra?
Because of that conversation, Andre was like, you know, she wants it. Like, even though she says no, like that doesn't mean that.
Right.
No,
That's called having a conscience and knowing the difference between right and wrong.
Well, I feel bad for Chase.
Well.
I'm not excusing what he did.
But what I will say is that he wouldn't be the first rapist in daytime to be redeemed.
Right.
Jack,
so it's definitely possible. I mean, Jack Devereaux is one of the most loved characters on the show, and he started out as a rapist.
Right.
That's true.
So I don't know. It's really touchy, I think, to do that stuff.
I'm still not.
I'm not ready to forgive him
They're gonna have
yet.
a really hard time.
The strong thing about this story is that Jonathan McClendon, who plays him, is a really strong actor.
Yeah.
Especially
Yes.
for his age. And I think that whatever they give him, he's going to sell it. So it's really going to be up to how they do it.
Right.
And he did a great job this week, especially with the
God, he's
visits
so good.
with Aiden. He was like, so, and he's even, you see his character trying to process the fact that, so you want me to believe that there was some double and he's not
buying it.
And you're walking into the jail like, oh, hi, son. Like,
it's totally normal. It happens all the time.
I am
happened to me twice last week.
It's crazy.
I'm thrilled that Sierra finally went to go see Marlena to talk about the rape. I mean, it was about time. I mean, it's long overdue, but she finally did. You walked in, and Sierra left, and you were like, was that a session? And Marlena was like, yeah. I feel like there's no patient-doctor confidentiality with Marlena.
Well, but I'm her daughter.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, everyone knows what happened anyway.
Why is she having sessions in her house?
Right.
Right.
Like, go to the office.
Right. The set wasn't built up for Marlena's
I
office
think they
that
were using
week.
it for the AA meeting that week.
Yeah. They definitely reused that set for multiple...
Did that happen this
Of
week or that
course,
was
I
last
mean-
week?
Yes. That was Tuesday.
You know,
Oh,
to keep the
the
show
AA
going,
meeting.
there
Oh,
has
that's
to be
right.
sacrifice.
Did you talk about Jen already?
Not yet.
No,
Oh,
we're
okay.
just
No.
about to...
Sorry.
no.
I don't have notes.
We
so
were
I don't-
waiting for you.
The Jennifer storyline, to me, was Tuesday was such a powerful day on Days
Yes.
of Our Lives. I think they completely did her storyline justice.
That was great.
From
I loved
the
it.
suffering addict to getting her to a meeting, and everything that was in between her finding the pills and losing her mind all at the same time. I thought it was so well done.
And
It
Jack
was
came
very
back.
well done.
And
And
that's
Jack-
what
And I think it's great that they gave her that storyline.
Yes.
Yes.
Because people who abuse painkillers are in pain. And she
Yeah.
was the character on this, on the canvas at the time that was in the most pain. And I
Yeah.
think that it was so against her character, but people who, there's so much abuse of this type of drug by just regular, normal people who are experiencing a lot of physical or emotional pain or whatever.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. And
Yeah.
she nailed it.
She totally did.
And
I think so too.
I like this progression of showing what she has been through, unlike what they did with Eric. And it was like, all of a sudden, like, I'm having one drink, and then near the end of his run, it's like, I'm a full-on alcoholic. It was like, wait, we didn't see any progression. No one talked about it. No one mentioned it. And now we have this car accident, and 2 people have died, and now he's off to jail. Like, there was no
But I think
progression
that,
for him.
but I actually think that stays true because I think some people's disease brings them down quicker with no explanation. I think
I think that's true too.
But people notice it, though, I feel like.
Well, but he was a priest for he's not drinking, right? Priest drink.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, yeah, he was
Just
a priest,
wine.
and then the whole thing with Kristen
him
and,
and Kristen
Eric, and
Right.
and it was kind of like the good boys' downfall.
Matt's always going to defend.
Greg Vaughn.
Greg Vaughn.
So
Can we all say Greg Vaughn?
So Greg Vaughn is to Matt
Thank you.
that Billy Flynn is to Mark.
No, that's
got it.
probably not.
No,
even
I'm just
comparison
more
because
I'm more
mine's-
contained than Mark J. Freeman when it
Yeah.
comes to my love for Greg. Love him.
Okay.
And
more
I
contained.
just sit here very neutral and open to
He's like,
everyone.
I'll take them all.
Or they will all
it.
take me.
Take a number.
Truth be told.
Wow.
But yes, Dave, what did you think about Tuesday's episode with Jennifer?
I liked it. I mean, it was great. I really loved when she was like ripping off the curtains and digging through the pillows and just like this craziness. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Backhanded Julie.
I thought she was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
She deserved
Yeah.
it.
Me too. She did, and she was.
But I thought actually that whole scene with them upstairs in the bedroom
Yep.
was fantastic.
It was very touching.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Days of Our Lives is getting better with physical, like the hits are so good because they cut away at the perfect time. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like a big stage soap opera
Right.
hit. That backhand looked real, and Julie's
Maybe it
reaction.
was.
Julie looked
She was just like,
surprised.
She did look surprised.
Like you didn't know if she was going to remain Julie or become Susan and be like, okay, now wait a minute.
yeah, she had that look, didn't
Hold up.
she?
Yeah. Like she had a moment of like, okay, now
And-
wait, did you just hit Julie or did you hit Susan?
Yeah, because I'm about to
we
mess
gonna
up.
have to stop Kate.
I'm about to mess this girl up. And then same thing with when Kate slapped Deimos across the face. They cut
Yeah.
away at the perfect time that I was like, did she actually hit him? That looks so real.
Kate was pissed.
And also I loved how they showed for Jennifer's storyline what it could be like if you continue down this road. How Abigail came home and she was like, Thomas is in the driveway.
Yeah.
Funny.
I
And
love that scene.
me too. Kate Mansi, I think, is such a
That's
strong
my
actor.
opinion.
Manzi is a superstar.
I think
so,
like,
too.
She
Yeah.
is one of the best actresses I've ever seen and ever worked with. But I mean, that's exactly the type of thing that would happen if you were, you know, wanting
Passed out.
Yeah, I mean, just on drugs, but normally irresponsible. Like someone leaves a baby with you, and they're, what a horrifying moment to know that your kid is in the driveway.
Right.
Like, What's wrong with you?
Right. And I think she played it so well. It was believable, even though it was a vision.
Yeah.
And when they cut to JJ in jail, and it was like, what happened to you?
Yeah.
This is what life is like.
great.
Yeah.
Having Matt Ashford back.
That was great too.
Love. Did you see him when he was back?
Yes, and it feels so wrong to me that he's not working there all the time.
Yeah.
Like he should be on the canvas. He's so, and I mean, there's a lot of those, but I think he specifically is such a strong actor, and they're such a great coupling, and there's so much story left there to tell. And it's so sad that he's dead. Like
could be potentially alive.
Yeah,
he died in an elevator
but
shaft.
you never saw it.
I keep saying.
Listen.
Wait,
Hear me out and take this to them for me.
Listen to this.
I can't take it to them
this
for
is,
you, but
well, yes, you can.
somebody else can.
So, because he's in the thing, Abigail sneaks out, and then it goes down.
Right.
We never see him. The next thing you see is Roman coming to them saying he's dead. You know, they don't have anything else. You never see anything else.
So you think like Roman, like
I think he's undercover doing a story or something, and was like, I need to get away. I need them to think I'm dead.
That would be awesome.
Right? So, because you never see it. You never, ever see it. I literally went online and rewatched that whole sequence, because they have it on YouTube and stuff, and that is exactly what happened. He could still be alive.
I think so too.
It was
I
Stefano.
loved the moment between.
I'm telling you!
Hello?
They need to let me in that room!
Anybody home?
I loved the moment between Jack and Jennifer where she said, when you left, you killed Abigail. Like, you destroyed her.
I don't think it was Abigail.
Wasn't it?
I think, because during that conversation, remember they had flashbacks of old Jack and Jen, and
I
he
know.
said,
Me too.
And he was trying to remind her of who she was and the type of person that she was, and she said, when you died, that girl died.
Jennifer.
Jennifer died.
Yeah.
Look, on the first time, folks, sometimes it takes me a minute.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. That's why we're all here, to help each other out. Just like earlier,
And
I
I
thought
have to
Jason
say,
Cook
Tony-
played Philip.
Right.
Tony.
Nope.
You said,
Nope.
Thank you.
Still not true.
I should have. I was like, "Who's your favorite Philip?" Jason Cook,
And Martha was like,
Martha was like, "No,
Which one was
sweetie.
your favorite?
No, sweetie, huh?
Who's your favorite, though?
Jay?
Jake Johnson?
Yeah.
Who's yours?
Yeah.
I'm asking
I mean, if you'd been
first.
here on time, you would know.
Well, I'm asking now. I don't want to watch it.
we already did that. You're gonna have to go back and watch the
Mine's Jake
podcast.
Johnson. Although I am happy with
John Paul.
John Paul.
See-
I don't dislike him. I like it. I think he's funny. Like, I like some of the faces and stuff
he is
makes.
funny.
He just adds a lot more to Philip.
He makes Philip less edgy and more kooky.
Yeah.
I see John Paul pretty frequently on hikes.
Oh yeah.
His body
He does-
is on point. It's
He
unfair.
calls
Where's
it
this
the
at?
full. He calls it the full Dolores. He does it at running. It takes him 2 hours. He does it 6
wow.
days a week. And then I swear to God, he doesn't eat anything but candy.
Well, where's he? Where's he
doesn't
going
eat-
now?
Life is
Runyon's
unfair.
closed.
I don't eat anything but candy, and I don't have that
He works
12
out 2
pack.
hours a day.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't
Yeah.
have that kind of commitment. Well, speaking of beautiful people and beautiful bodies,
Yes.
we
Billy
have,
Flynn?
Oh, I thought he was talking to me.
Oh, stop
You're
it.
like, what?
You tossed it up there for all of us to take, girl.
And all of you took a bite. You were like, "Oh, thank you very much." Martha was like, "Thank you." And then there's Matt. Thank
It's
you.
a room full
And
of opportunities.
Dave is the only classy one.
Dave and I are sitting there like,
Just went right over my head.
You'll learn, Dave. You'll learn. Yeah, just jump right in there.
really quick. We have Nicole Damos and Kate.
Kate moved too fast, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I actually think that this is a one that could work.
I love the story.
Damos and
Yeah,
Kate.
Damos, Kate, and Nicole.
Nicole.
Like
I
that
think
whole
it's a
triangle.
good
Yeah.
triangle.
Although I wish Finn was in there somehow. But
Because they're all really smart and powerful. We're connected to all characters, even Damos now.
And they're connected to everyone.
And they did a similar triangle with Victor, so it kind of
Yeah.
just like works.
And Damos is very reminiscent of Victor, like that
Yeah,
very
he's that
powerful.
powerful.
Yeah. And they both,
Angry.
and Kate and Nicole both have an agenda. Like, and they're aware that each one of them have an agenda. The only person who may not slightly be aware but pretends like he is Deimos.
I love when Kate and Nicole were arguing in the living room, and they were both calling for Deimos at different points in the argument.
I loved
and he's
it.
standing behind the door.
Yeah,
Just
like
so
listening.
manipulative. Yeah.
And
then
he's
he
just
walks in and
drinking
he was like,
it
"Hi
in,
guys."
like-
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did you need me? Here's your clothes.
And then he
Here's
walks
your
in like,
clothes.
here's your clothes. Oh, Kate.
Oh, Kate.
You've been there the whole time. We saw you between the little cracks. We knew
I love this triangle because they're all super smart characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
And Kate and
Deimos.
Nicole together.
And I think
Yeah.
the outwitting of each other, but I just and having Nicole and Kate like at each other again is always fun.
I love that.
Because
Especially
they're
now
both,
that Allie's gone, like you don't have that. You want that,
they're both determined that they're both going to succeed.
and either one of them could at any
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I love
It's
it.
so because I keep doing that. It's so like, okay, it's gonna be Nicole and Deimos, and then like then
Yeah.
you see the Kate and Deimos scene. Right? Okay, no, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
it's gonna
Kate
be
and Deimos.
right? So it's fun. That's
Yeah.
what's exciting
Yeah.
about it.
So that was that, and then moving on to really quickly, Sierra and Theo.
Broke his heart.
Poor Theo.
I felt so bad for Theo.
I don't think he's going to give up without a fight, though.
I don't look.
Nah.
I don't know. Theo,
I think Claire's gonna snatch him up. She's gonna be like, "You snooze, you lose."
I think
got
he's going to be... No, because I thought he wasn't interested in her at all. Wasn't he like, nope.
Theo?
Oh,
Yeah.
girls can change a man's mind. Don't you fret.
Not
You would know.
Not all of them.
At least that's what I'm hoping.
No, but I feel like the one thing that I always rant and rave about Theo's character is that he's no BSer. He doesn't beat around the bush about anything. He's very straight and direct and like, this is what it is. This is, and he really fell for Sierra and really thought that it was being reciprocated. And when that whole scene happened, it was just kind of like, oh, bless his heart.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him.
Well, that's probably on purpose.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's probably for the
Well, let's
better
hope that
right
she
now.
doesn't move on to Chad.
Well, I think that's gonna happen.
You think so?
I think so. She's having dreams. She gave him a kiss on the cheek.
Listen,
We all have dreams
Days
about
does
Chad.
things like that.
Oh, is it just me?
yes.
It's like even
No, it's
JJ.
not just-
I had a very similar one the other day.
Because I can tell you who doesn't have dreams about Chad, Billy Flynn, ever in life.
That's not true.
Never.
That's not true.
Never. Although dreams can change a person and their feelings.
That's true. Have you ever woken up from a dream, like you had a dream about someone that you know or love or something, and they did something bad to you, and you're just pissed at them all day?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was just talking about this with
Yeah.
someone. Yeah, I think
Or-
it change how you feel.
Or you have a dream, like a random dream about someone, and then like you wake up and you're like, I never looked at them like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had those dreams.
Yeah.
About Billy.
No, not about Billy.
Kissing him on the cheek.
Well, speaking of other folks, JJ and Gabby. So with that relationship, they made love first of all.
But they've done that before, haven't they?
Probably.
It was implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was implied this week. But also,
It meant
Ed-
something.
I love the scene with Eduardo and Gabby.
Yeah.
And him trying to be that father figure
Yeah.
and be like, no, maybe you shouldn't go with JJ. He's a cop and da da da.
And
She's
she was like, maybe
oh,
you
really?
can mind
I know.
this.
She's like, my brother
Coming
was
from the
like that.
assassin.
Yeah,
like the
she was
person who,
like, you
kill
can
people.
back it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with Rory coming out of nowhere,
Right.
which was it me or did he look different?
Yeah, he did. I didn't know it was
his
him
hair
at
is
first.
really long. I saw him walking down the hall that day, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
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 He used to be really skinny.
Until they
I
said
thought.
his name, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's
I was like,
Vince.
oh, that's Rory.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like all
that's
buffed
right.
out now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
And he knocked
JJ
on
out.
he knocked him
Yeah, I
out,
didn't
right?
get
Yeah.
that.
well, because
what JJ did.
well, this is what had happened. He got brought in because he was caught with a whole
Right.
lot of drugs. But he's like, it's not my
It's not
fault.
mine,
He
yeah.
was
It was
high
set
as a
up.
kite, and they threw the bag in his lap, and they took off. Well, they needed the names of the actual people who did that.
Right.
So they sent JJ in
Right.
to talk to him, and he's like,
Right.
I'm not here as a cop, I'm here as a friend. And so he was able to get the names out, but only by telling Rory,
That he
have
would offer
immunity.
him immunity.
Promising him immunity.
Yeah.
But they said he didn't get it. So how is that right?
Roman was
On
a
bail.
jerk.
Roman lost
It's
it.
also the
That's a
Salem
really
PD.
good question.
That's
How
what was
is
my
he
first
free?
thing. Is
I don't know either.
Well, they were so adamant that he's not going to get immunity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next scene,
Didn't
he's
think
at
about
their door.
I mean, I guess it's bail, but yeah, they never addressed that. And
Yeah.
I never even caught
Maybe
that.
they'll do it on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll address it on Monday.
Don't hold your breath.
But at the same time,
And he knew where they were. Where are they anyway?
They're at the hotel.
Salem Inn.
I think they're at the other
How
one.
do people
Yeah,
always
the
find out
other
where they're
one.
at?
The other one, the new one.
The new
whatever
one
it's
just
called.
built.
the plaza.
No, the one that.
Oh, the Martin House?
Doug and Julie.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the
the
Martin
old
Martin
house.
House.
Yeah.
So,
I know because I've done it in that one too.
Belle's been busy.
Belle has
I've been in
busy.
every bed in Salem.
That a girl.
I'm jealous.
So
They're actually all one bed, but just kidding.
this was my thought, is when Roman was like, "You're a rookie, you can't do that," blah 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 blah. Well, then why did you send him in there?
That
Why do you
I
keep
100%.
having him a part of these like cases, and he's still a rookie?
Well, they should have been more clear. It's like,
Well, and
Yeah,
the first
just do
thing
this.
he did when he walked in the room was say, "I'm just here as a friend." No, that's some BS.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just, you saw it happening. Like literally as it was happening, you're like, okay, we absolutely know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
More reason for Roman to yell.
Yeah.
Which is, again,
He did a
one
lot
of
of
those
yelling.
moments.
I can't.
week.
Yeah.
Roman's like, "Can I get a triple cappuccino, please?"
So I watched you guys' show from last week, and I saw this conversation you were having about how you feel like he's always yelling and stuff. And I'm like, really? I never noticed that. And then I watched all week this week, and I was like, oh my god.
He's
really
always
angry
I
all
said
the
it
time.
doesn't even matter if it's something to be angry about. He's
Yeah.
like,
But-
"I need that piece of paper."
You threw it out?
No.
It
In
really-
fairness, like his character is like the police commissioner. I mean, he's supposed to be this tough, you know,
but it's-
strong.
he's still pissed about
know,
Marlene
I
and
can't.
John.
But yeah, you're right. He was like yelling at Rafe
grudges.
at the bar.
I'm
and he was
surprised that you
yelling
guys
at
even
JJ.
come to our show. That we can say.
It was never about them.
Oh, that's true. Well, I don't know. Molly Burnett came. She toughed it out.
She did,
Why would that be toughing it out?
because
Because you're a jerk about it?
he
Not a fan.
hates Joe.
Not her. I don't dislike her.
Who?
He hates
I don't.
the
I just
Jonases.
met her the one time.
Yeah.
I didn't like Melanie
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Daniel.
yeah.
about the
I
Jonases?
liked Melanie when she came back. I didn't like her before.
Which time?
The last time she had a big arc.
Oh, when she and Brady decided they were in love.
Let me just, can I touch on something really quick? Just from the actor's standpoint, I feel an opportunity here. I'm just gonna say.
Tell us.
I'm just gonna let me just have your
So,
step on your soapbox.
so often we hear as actors, it's not you, it's the character. It's not the character, it's the writing. But the thing is it's all, yes, it is. I mean, most actors are going in and saying, how would I respond to something in this situation?
Right.
Like, what does this mean to me? And that's how I'm going to play it. So it is you, and it is your habits, and it is your facial expressions, and it is the way you stand, and like all that kind of stuff. So you can say that.
But no,
And
honestly,
you can say that in hopes of not like hurting an actor's feelings, but the feelings are still hurt.
Did I hurt your feelings then?
Well, no, because I don't know you well enough to care.
Wow, Martha.
Belle's coming out.
No,
Sorry.
my thing is, and I
If
did
he
say
said
this,
it to me, I'd be really upset.
and
Yeah.
I did say this after that episode she was on.
Yeah.
Where she was talking because I was making fun of the way that she looked at the castle. When she
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
which was like far off
Yeah.
in the distance.
yeah, but she
The
even
castle?
said when
Yeah.
when Kristen died,
Yeah,
she was
and she
running,
was-
she
yeah.
was going to the castle and she saw it from the park,
Yeah.
and she had this really over exaggerated like there it is, and I was like really, but I was making fun of it, and then when she came on, she said actually they made her do it again, and they made her do it like that, and so then I even said I was like okay,
well, that's different if you're
right.
directed
and
to do
so,
it a certain
and so
way.
I don't know what, and I said this on our show.
Right.
I said I don't know what they're telling her to do,
Right.
and maybe that's what I don't like. And if that's the case, then it
Right.
isn't her.
Well,
It's
when
not,
people say, like, and what you said, or like when people say, I don't know how, like, I'm jiving with the fact that your character's sleeping with everybody or whatever, just kind of a slut. That's fine because that's not me doing
Yeah.
that. That's the story.
Right.
Yeah.
But like when they're like, oh, you know, it's the character of Belle's so angry or she cries all the time or whatever. It's like, well, those are the choices that.
Yeah.
That's how I played it. That's how I decided to play it.
Well, I think a lot of my thing with Melanie also is a lot of the characters that I liked together, she was always the one interfering.
Yeah.
So I think that built up a lot. And I've said that before, too. I really think that has a lot to do with that.
Hey, why don't you move around in that chair?
I know. I keep sliding.
Well, on that note, let's go to some things that we do like, and that's our segment.
Oh, yay.
And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Now, thank you. So, for the 3 Snaps Award, I decided to give it to Tuesday's episode of Days because I'm liking the fact that they devote a full day to just one specific storyline. It allows for us to really understand this character, where they're going with the story and everything like that. I liked it when they did it with Jennifer. I loved it when they did it with Aiden.
And they did it with Sammy and
Sammy and EJ.
EJ also.
Even though it was a dream, we were still so invested in it, and it was like an hour wasn't enough. Like, I want to know more. So 2 Days of Our Lives and Tuesday's episode with all things Jennifer, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award.
And you saw that they're going to be doing another one.
Of Maxine's son?
No. Hope's getting one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just read a thing online.
Oh, and we all know what that sound means.
I don't.
Police are here.
The Melanie police are here.
That is, ladies and gentlemen, Martha, that is the sign that we are about to do Matthew's Disaster Moment of the Week. My disaster this week goes to the hair department. And the volumizing extension on the hairdryer that both Jennifer and Philip happened to use.
Well, she's on pills. So
well, she got crazy running her fingers through her hair and the volume got boosted. But he walked into the scene like that. He walked into the scene and the only thing missing for me was a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, a tone it down hair department. So that is Matthew's disaster moment of the week.
I love this moment right now because Martha's reaction is the same reaction that I had with the first disaster moment, which was the very first one that Matt ever did, was when he noticed that Eric Martzoff wasn't wearing underwear.
Oh, I don't want to talk about this.
but you could clearly see more of Eric.
I'm good.
Yeah. So that was that. So I lost it. Like, I was like, oh my god. So there's that moment. Okay.
Wow.
And that has been your disaster moment of the week. And now we move on to Mark's Quote of the Week. Now things are about to get interesting because we weren't expecting Mark to be here, so he sent in this little video.
It's a good shot there.
I know. I look amazing, don't I?
So hot.
Who's the hair department?
Hi,
on that
everybody. It's Mark J. Freeman here, giving you my quote of the week and my fan of the week.
Just trying to keep the
for quote of the week, it hands down had to go to, drum roll please.
No drum roll.
Actually, going to Rafe this week. It goes to Rafe when he says, "When's the last time you had a burger for lunch?" And she's like, "I have burgers all the time." And Rafe says, "All the time, huh? If by all the time you mean never." Because we were all thinking it. She's never had a hamburger. Or she hasn't had a hamburger since she was like 10. So, Rafe, kudos. You are reading my mind. You get my quote of the week. And then my fan of the week will be going to a very special somebody. I don't think this person's ever gotten fan of the week before, but I feel like it's high time because he is a huge fan of the show, and he's always been very kind to me, and it's his birthday. So, Billy Flynn, you are going to get my fan of the week.
God, help us
Yay! Happy birthday, Billy. All right, guys. Thank you. Fan of the week, quote of the week. Check.
I'm going home. I'm going home.
It's only appropriate.
And that has been
Mark.
Hold on. I was laughing way too hard at what the hell just happened.
Mark's Quote of the Week.
There you go.
And also the fan of the week. So congratulations.
Happy birthday, Billy.
Yes.
Come visit us soon.
I will say this.
You thought the same thing about the burger, didn't you?
Oh no, I
thought
love
they
the
looked
burger.
good. It was making me
It
hungry.
looked,
when I saw
yeah, it did
As
look
soon
really
as she
good.
brought in burgers, I was like,
Yeah.
how are we kidding that Hope is eating burgers?
Yeah.
But did you also notice that when they went to throw everything away, the burger was still like there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the burger wasn't really eaten. I will say that I did text Billy and wished him a happy 65th birthday. And I said, here's to your AARP. To which he replied and said, I hate you. So happy birthday, Billy.
Happy birthday.
All right, and now let's get into some quick news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
And we are going to fly through this very quickly as possible. We are going to start with our first news and gossip.
Molly Burnett is headed to General Hospital temporarily to replace Kirsten Storms as Maxie Jones, set to debut in July. So make sure to tune in for that.
Yeah, I saw this and everyone had the same question of, because Jen has played, you played Maxie.
No, I haven't played Maxie.
No, you
but
haven't. You played another.
I've recast Kirsten before.
Yes. And the question was brought up like, where are they? Why didn't they get chosen? And I was like, I don't know.
Well, but it's Belle is a different character than Maxie. I mean, I don't know Maxie well, but what I know of Maxie character, it's not Belle.
A very different character. And also, you know, I was saying this to somebody else before. When I took over for Kirsten for Belle, I was 26 years old, and so it was still much of an age difference. But now the age difference is pretty prominent. Like, I don't think that I could play cutesy little Maxie. I think that was a really good casting, actually, for that. I did talk to Kirsten yesterday, and she's going to be back soon. And I think she put out a statement today.
I saw
she's having some skin issues, and you can't have skin issues on camera, and she'll be back in a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, we even here at Days, even though it's GH, and stay tuned for the GH report after this, but we wish her well as well.
Yes, feel better soon.
Of course.
Yeah. And more news and gossip. It's all about me this time, and yours truly will be hosting an event in September in New York with Dual Coast Events, so make sure you check that out. Brandon Beamer, Billy Flynn, Eric Martzoff, Mary Beth Evans, and Brian Datillo will all be in attendance, all hosted and emceed by me. So come and see me in New York in September.
I was supposed to go to that.
You
so
were.
Sad. Yes,
you were.
My cousin's getting married
on that day.
Yeah,
Sorry,
well, folks.
It's all right. I mean, Dual Coast Events does, they do a lot of events. So like,
fun.
We'll be able to hang out on another one. So if you want tickets and information, go to dualcoastevents.com. And speaking of events and our Dishin Days hosts that host them, Mark
J. Freeman, ladies and gentlemen, will be hosting the Daytime Star event in Toronto, Canada on July 23rd with Eric Martzoff, Billy Flynn, and Rob Wilson.
Billy Flynn.
I would have punched Billy Flynn more, but go ahead.
Sorry, let me try that again. With Eric Martzoff, Billy Flynn, and Rob Wilson.
There you go.
5-hour cruise of Toronto. There is an online and live auction, which all proceeds benefit the Lung Association. There is a new meet and greet package available now as well, so check it out at www.daytimestarevents.com. There is a payment plan too for U.S. fans. Check out at Travel Nation CA, that is Travel Nation Canada, to help you get here and to help you save. So look into that.
That's all right.
Amen to that.
All right, and that is all the time that we have for our lovely show of Dishin Days. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Martha, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, yes. So
we
fun.
loved having you.
Thank you. I forgive you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Dave, our super fan, for coming in. Was it? How was it for you? Was it good?
Was
it
intimidating?
intimidating?
It's hot in here, but it's very good.
Right?
Good.
Sorry,
I don't know. It's Martha. She got me.
Well, before we head out, let's go around. Everyone, let our lovely viewers and fans know where they can find you on social media.
I am Matthew Evan Paine, and you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at my new handle at Matthew E. Paine.
I'm Dave Carey. You can find me on MySpace. No, just kidding. On Instagram at Mr. D. Carey, and also on Facebook.
That's
Dave Carey.
awesome. MySpace. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Marth27, and I have a new Facebook page, a public Facebook page. I just put in Martha Madison, I guess, and it comes up.
Yeah.
I also have a private page, so don't be offended if I don't. Add you to my. That's just for friends and family. It's not personal.
Yeah.
And Mark J. Freeman?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE, and also on Facebook too.
And where can they find your toupee?
You can find my hair on Twitter, living for the hair.
And Amazon.
That's
Only on Prime, though.
It's got to have its own Twitter.
Oh my gosh. And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms, Facebook.
Can't use it in your mail now.
You know what's great is that when I said Facebook, your hand came in. So that's great.
Perfect.
That's perfect. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and now Snapchat. At Lounging with Tony, or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Dave and Martha, for coming in.
Thank you, everybody.
And thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week for another hair-raising episode of AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. Bye, guys.
Hair-raising.
Happy Memorial Day.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Memorial Day. Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz. You later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.